So welcome back to the 100% free WordPress website tutorial that we're doing here. The next thing that we're gonna get down to doing is we are going to edit our homepage and start making a plan for how to actually get some content in there. So when you go to the My Sites area, after you log in, right, go to Site and then go to Pages, and you'll find Home, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to edit that, and that will take us to the page, and we're going to kind of get a plan for what we're going to do. So overall, this is a travel website, so it's going to be called Visit Amazing Places, and one of the first things I'm going to want to do is make a logo. So getting into that, right, one of the best free tools that I use for making images or graphics of any type is Pixlr.com, and it's just Pixlr X, which is like the free photo editor that you can just use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get something. I'm just going to kind of walk you all through this basic process here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a graphic, and I'm just going to use one of their generic fonts here, and we're going to call this logo, and it's going to be text, so I'm going to make it like 800 wide and only like 200 tall, and then I'm going to make it, there's going to be no background so that it's transparent. And so I'm just going to add this text. There's all sorts of different text editors. You don't have to use this one, but I'm just going to call it Visit Amazing Places. I'm going to make the width of this box the full size. I have some Pixlr tutorials, I think, on my channel somewhere. And I'm just going to make the size of this just a little bit bigger. Right, about that big. And let's see, do I want it to just be white? I'm thinking maybe I'll make it blue, and then I might give it a shadow just because it's going to be transparent. This wouldn't be a bad thing to do with that. And then also I'm going to go and crop this down a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's about even. I'm going to chop it down a little bit more so there's not too much space outside the text. Since we're just using text, I'm just going to literally do only that. So I'm going to apply that crop, and I'm going to save it, and we're going to call that logo, download that. Okay, so we've got that. Let us see if we can go ahead and throw that in here. So that'll take just a second for us to get all the way up. It's not the featured image that's here, but right here at the top of the page, this right here is what we want to edit. So what do you think about the best way to do this? So we want to get our newly made logo image or header image in there instead of this title. So what we're gonna have to actually do is go and go to the customization and design section, which is a little bit different than where you actually edit the page itself. And then we're going to go to the site identity section, and the navigation of all this stuff will become easier as you start trying to get around it. And we need to remove that title up there because that wasn't really doing anything for us. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to select logo. We're just going to throw in our image right here, crop that right, and see, now we have two of them, right? And so like we're gonna get rid of this one, but stay with me here for just a second. The other thing we want is the site icon, which is like 512 by 512, and so let's go and make that real quick. We're gonna make it'll just be like VIP, right? And we're just gonna make it really small. We're gonna make it right in that size. So let me go over here, and we're gonna create a new, it's not a default size, so I'll make it 512 by 512, and we're gonna make this the icon. And that icon is kind of like if you've ever seen like a thumbnail show up of something, that will kind of be what that's for. Oh my gosh, I forgot what text we used for the thing, but it looks like this, and they don't have that many texts. It would help if I knew that it was alphabetical. So visit amazing places. I'm going to do that. I'll make the size as big as possible. Alright. And then we're good to go. Right? Perfect. I'm going to put some shadow on it just like we had done before. We're going to kind of center it. And this is just a simple, small image to actually accomplish what we want. So download that. And while I'm here, oh, there it is. While I'm here, I'm going to throw it up there. One thing you'll find is that the image uploader for WordPress is super intuitive, really nice, just simple. So make sure that's selected when we put that in there. And then see right here, it gives an example of how that's going to show up. It's just going to be a little black VAP, black background VAP, because it's a transparent background. So that's what it is. So we have this tagline here, and for SEO purposes, we're just going to fill that in as well, because that is important, like the title of your website. And so we're just going to make a really simple thing right there. Okay, there we go. So with the site, I'm going to go back to pages, and I'm going to edit out that secondary image, which we should never put in the first place. But when you're messing with a new theme, even people who have been working with this stuff for a while will run into that. So as you'll see, this page right here just kind of has these blocks that are just sort of there. So right now, let me go preview the site. Here we go. It has a nice header at the top, and then it has all this other stuff. So the one thing I want to do is I want to kind of get rid of this, and I'm thinking I'm going to do like 3 separate icons. So I'm going to have an about us, a videos, a locations, and a follow us icon. I'm going to have 4 separate images that are going to lead to 4 separate sections of the site. So I want people to know about the company. I want people to be able to access our videos. I want people to know what locations you can go to through us, and I want people to be able to follow us kind of like on social or whatever. So that will be those will be the separate areas that I will make, and I'm gonna go make those graphics right now. I kind of already went over making graphics. All I'm gonna do is just take a image, and then I'm actually going to put that in there, and then I'm going to put text over it that conveys what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to make square images, and then they are going to have the words on there, and I'll show you how I'm going to make one, but then I'll speed through the rest here. So I've got some photos that I have around here, so I'm actually just going to I'm going to make about us. I'm going to create that, and I'm going to drag this image in there. So this image right here is something I took. We're just going to use this as a really simple thing. I'm going to use the same text throughout just for continuity. You could use multiple different ones, that's fine. Do whatever you feel like is best for design purposes, but for this section I'm just going to do this. So I'm just going to put about us. I'm going to make this size large. I'm going to make it kind of just like this, but then see how the background, like everything doesn't kind of work quite right. So I'm just going to take the brightness, I'm just going to crank it down to where it's this nice, like the text is really the forefront of the image and the background is just pretty in there. So I'm going to save that. Save that as a JPEG, that's fine, high quality, and we're going to download that. Awesome. So what I'm going to do to actually start breaking down this bit right here is I'm going to have to delete this whole block. So this just is not going to be there anymore. And then I'm just going to go in and add a new block here. And this is really easy to get to. But what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to put in images but it'll be multiple images. So what I'm gonna have to actually do is I'm gonna have to make a column, or I'm gonna have to make a row that has 4 separate images in it. So I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how to do that. We're gonna make that a separate section where we're actually breaking into the design element of this whole page, and I'm gonna get the images so we can start getting down to the meat of that.